Welcome everyone back to Pommy and Oz. Hope we're all doing really well. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe. It really helps the channel out. We're absolutely churning through subscribers, so I can't thank you enough. Big shout out to all the members of the channel. You can do that by the link in the description. Costs about a cup of coffee. It really helps the channel out. We put a lot of work into the content and we're really redeveloping for next year. So there's going to be a lot of really cool content and very unique content, I might add, as well. Some sexy collabs coming up too as well. Stay tuned for that. But today, we're back on the off-season recap, taking you through what the teams are. In this series, we're going to give you what's happened, who's come in, who's left, a brief look at what the best 22 will be in an ideal situation by the end of the year when everyone is fit and healthy. And also give you some homework, someone to look out for in the 2024 draft. We know that that's our specialty over here on Pommy and Oz. So welcome, and let's get into Brisbane. Obviously, the grand finalists, they finally got to the big dance after flirting with it for a couple of years and just fell short, it has to be said, to a rampant Collingwood side. They'll be going into this year really refreshed and looking to really go one step further. A really solid list, as we can see. Average age 25.1, it puts them fourth, and average games fourth, so they are right in the window. The door is ajar. They just have to walk through it, really. They've wedged it open a little bit, but they did lose Marcus Adams and Naki Akotka too. They retired. Blake Coleman was delisted. Tom Fullerton and Jack Gunston, they left and found new homes. Reese Matheson, prolific in the state leagues, he has left. Daryl McDonald-White Jr., he's also left. And Daniell Rich, the big raking, iconic foot of Daniell Rich, is no longer there. So obviously some gaps to fill and really to look out for some incomings there. I mean, obviously Danny Rich, Jack Gunston never really got going, did he? Let's be honest. But there is some holes there. There is some holes there to fill. And they filled quite a big one with their big season recruit, Tom Doedee. 82 games in his career, 3.4 marks, 1.7 intercept marks, a staggering 68.6 one-on-one win percentage, and 3.2 spoils, standing at 190 and 90 kegs. He's at the prime age now, isn't he? He's had his injury woes, but there is no doubt about Tom Doedee as a defender, especially coming from that third, playing a lockdown or the intercept. He is one of the best players in the league at his craft when fit. And suddenly bringing him into that Brisbane side, if he is fit, and we've got to assume that he will do, fresh change of scenery often makes them injury woes go away, doesn't it? It's really exciting of where this list could be. In my opinion, I think this is an understated, fantastic pickup because I think he is phenomenal. And I think for Brisbane, they have gained a guy that is very crafty, very skillful, and a very, very good defender. He's an exceptional football IQ. He's a top-level player, and a player that I am really looking forward to seeing what he brings to Brisbane. Obviously, they were just one hurdle short, and if they can get there this year, Tom Doedee, I feel, will be a huge, huge part of what Brisbane are attempting to do. This is a big, big, big opportunity for him, and it's a big opportunity for Brisbane. I really like this pickup. I think Doedee will be exceptional. They also brought in Brandon Ryan in the deal with the Jack Gunston deal, and the Hawthorn mid-season pickup, the key forward, the Bull Ants boy, 200 centimetres, 91 kegs. And I was actually surprised Hawthorn got rid of him because I thought Hawthorn probably need this type of play, to put a bit of pressure on Mitch Lewis. Obviously, Kaziski leaving to Richmond, but I really like what I saw. Can pinch hit in the ruck if needed. We didn't really see that at AFL level. But in the 3 games, he showed that he's game. 3.3 marks, 2.3 score involvements, 1.3 marks inside 50, and 1.3 goals a game. I feel in a better system, he's going to get more opportunity, and I like this pickup because he's a big size. He's that awkward size, and we saw that at AFL level when Brandon went against the defenders. Obviously, they were picking up Mitch. He was a problem, and obviously with your team, Joe Danaher, Eric Hipwood, whichever combination you pay, people are going to go to be gravitating towards them. And Brandon's that forgotten man, particularly outside the square. I feel like the way he engages his contact early really suits what Brisbane are looking for. And again, this is another big boy to play off Cameron, Lincoln McCarthy, Cam Rayner, Zach Bailey. We know how crafty and dangerous they are. A really good acquisition for them. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one pans out. Then we went to the draft. And we talked about they'll probably be looking for key position players. Logan Morris, they will probably be surprised he slid to 31. The Western Jets tall forward, standing 191 and 90 kegs. And he had a really, really good year. A really good year for Western Jets, playing the 10 games, 5.3 marks, 4 score involvements, 63.8 disposal efficiency as well. Loves the marks just inside 50. And to hit targets, 1 goal a game. And nice dimensions, 191, 90 kegs. And I feel like he suits kind of the role that they were looking for in Jack Gunston moving forward. Playing that third tall. Eric Hipwood, I question him. I don't question his ability. I question his consistency. I think he's a very good footballer. But I like this acquisition because I feel like Logan Morris is what all these modern day key forwards are. Incredible set shot. Has probably one of the best set shots in the draft. Real clean action. Very strong for his size as well. Can play big, but he's also pretty good on the deck as well. He really is good one-on-one. One-on-one, he is incredibly strong, and he's got great vision. And he really suits what Brisbane's forward line, I feel, lacks. I feel like they need that guy who can take a mark, be a bit of a beast, but then give it off. He's a very team-first player, and that's something that you look for in the draftees. And I think this is an absolute terrific pickup. I really do like Logan Morris, and I think he's going to be a really good acquisition. I think he'll play towards the end of the season as well. I think he'll get the opportunities. We know Fagan isn't scared of giving these kids. Great pickup there. Top sorted. This one was probably a surprise, just about where it fell, but 193, 84 Kegaroos, Luke Lloyd from Sandy Dragons, and he had a really solid year this year. He's a really incredible little footballer. He's old Lukey, 11 games, 5.6 marks, 5.8 score involvements, 1.1 goal assists, 1.9 goals. And I feel here that this guy here, his leading patterns are elite. Incredible football IQ, really good vision. And this is someone that I think will threaten Hipwood because I feel like this is what they want Hipwood to be. What he does with his leading patterns is he creates space in behind and to work off. He's very, very good at working with his smalls. And that is something that stood out in the championship winning year for Sandy Dragons. He's a very, very astute footballer who isn't scared at getting up the ground as well and taking them wing marks in exits from D50. He's a real little good little footballer. Probably lacks a little bit of pace for the modern game and to do that role. But I think it's something that you can work on because he isn't slow. He just ain't lightning quick. And that's kind of weird talking about the tall guys, but everyone is lightning quick. But I really like Luke, and I feel like he's going to be just a little smoky for what he did. Up next is the big Z-Dog, Zane Zakowski. And this guy here, I can't believe he slid here. And when you look at how Brisbane play, they're not really that bothered by going bolsterous tall. But 196, 89 kegs, this kid has got lightning pace, but he's also got incredible football skills. Can play back, can play forward, and pinch it in the ruck. I think this guy plays in 2024. I wouldn't be surprised to see him play. Real raw talent, and it's a real one of them things where you look at the facets of what he's got. Very good kick. So he went at 74% efficiency this year, right? Incredible high leap. The second fastest time in WA over 20 metres. Lightning speed. 15.2 touches from the 13 WA Colts games this year. 2.5 marks, 1.3 spoils, and 2.5 tackles. I feel like if you train this kid right, he could be something special. I really like this pick. This was probably my favourite Brisbane pick. At 51, an absolute bargain basement buy, and he will be one heck of a footballer. And then they did some real intelligent work here. They got Zane from WA. They brought in Reece Torrent. And Reece Torrent screams when you look at him play, particularly for in the Waffle Colts this year. There is something about him when you watch him play in the terms of, I think someone's made a mistake because he has such clean skills. Played down on the wing, also played on the ball. He's real standout type player in the terms of everything he does looks sexy. He's very physical. He's very calm. He takes time. And he's one of them players that when he does that pivot in traffic, feels like time stands still for him. Elite by foot. And incredibly courageous in the way that he uses his ball. He doesn't look for the easy option. He looks to make things happen. He loves that 1-2. And he's got a real sweet left foot. And it's very interesting that Peel Thunder did talk, the coaches did talk about him, that he had David Mundy traits. Now, that is big. Now, he ain't the quickest guy, but what he lacks for quickness, he makes up for speed of 4. And as you can see, 18.6 touches from the 5 games, 5.4 inside 50s, 4 tackles, 5 score involvements, 184-80 for free kegs. He's working with some very good midfielders. Do you know what I mean? He's working with Cluggage, Dunkley, Neil. These guys know how to play football, and that's just naming some off the top of my head. He's also going to be working with Will Ashcroft, players like that. A real stand-up little player. And I like this one. This is one of them picks that, you know, you forget about, and then he suddenly debuts a couple of years' time, and you're like, Jesus, he's good. And there's history for the players like this that are just kind of forgotten about because they don't get the publicity and then go on to be good players. I really like that pick. And then, if you've been watching your VFL, Bruce Revel, he does stand out. He was a Cat B rookie for you. Can play mid, can play forward, can play down the back. He literally has played everywhere as Big Brucey. And real solid type player. He is one of them players that you look at and he's got something about him. Standing at 185 and 73 kegs. Ignore that. Last measurements were 80 kegs, so ignore that height and weight, that's wrong. But 12 games, 15.5 disposals, 3.6 marks, 3 tackles, and 0.8 goals. And Bruce has got a little bit about him as well. We've seen him in the VFL, and okay, it is the VFL, but he's got something about him. I was watching the Williamstown game in the second final, and you can really see how he gets in and out of traffic. And the Gold Coast game is a really good example of how he gives and goes, uses his space and his little silkness and bombs it in. He isn't scared of a pass. He isn't scared of getting back and helping. He's got real good aerobic capacity as well. And he dances around. And he's one of them players that I just feel like at Brisbane, you guys can kind of cultivate this kind of talent. It's a real good reward for some serious couple of years in the VFL. And I like Brucey. I think he'll go well for you. And let's have a crack at the best 22. This is where you come at me. Obviously, this is subject to change, but I've gone Jack Payne down at fullback. I really like Payne, to be honest. Is he a superstar? No, he isn't. But is he honest, reliable and hard-working? Yes, he is. Tom Doty and Starcevic in that back line. I really like that. Connor McKenna, Harris Andrews and Caden Coleman. You've got the pace there. You've got the class. Jared Berry and Jasper Fletcher. My boy Jasper Fletcher. If you followed the content last year, you know I fell in love with Jasper. An absolute quality footballer with the big clug dog as centreman. Rayner, Danaher and Bailey. I really think that is an understated half-forward line. That is up there for me with some of the best in the league. It's got everything you want. Creativity, goals, but also hard-working. And then the full forward line, Eric Hipwood being paired up with Charlie Cameron and Lincoln McCarthy. And you look at this team here, Oscar McInerney, Lockie Neal and Josh Dunkley as the followers. You're always in with a shout with that type of team, aren't you? Let's be honest. That team is always going to be competing for titles. Let's be honest. It's a very good team. And it's going to be one that I feel is going to be, I wouldn't say forgotten about, but I do feel like at times people do sleep on just how good you guys are. So it's going to be a real interesting one for me. And then we've got the interchange. We've got Will Ashcroft, who I know is missing large parts of the year. Darcy Wilmot, look out for him. He is a sensational footballer. Devon Robertson, I think, will cement his place in the absence of Will Ashcroft. And Kai Lohman may be a surprise, but I actually think he's going to have a really big year this year and really bring it to the fore. I'm looking forward to seeing his development, but this side here has got depth as well. Like, we've named the team there, but there is still some players there that we haven't seen. The draftees, obviously, I do think that you're going to be looking at Zane and players like that are going to come forward. But then you've also got other players in that list that, for me, probably don't get the love that they deserve. I think that you've got some young players there like Shadow Brine. Look out for him. I feel like he is going to come on this year as well and definitely will play at some point. And I wouldn't be surprised to see old Revel get some game time. But you've also got Noah Answorth, who's probably going to be a chance. Callum Archie. Do you know what I mean? Madden. I think Logan Morris will play. Brandon Sharp is one I want you to look out for as well from Hawthorn. I'm a big, big fan of Brandon Sharp. A real solid little player. And I feel like he could be a little smoky for you guys this year in what he might do. I feel like he's the forgotten man as a key forward, and I feel like he can just really come on and do something. So this is going to be a really exciting time for them. Brandon obviously was one of the guys that came in the off-season as well. So really, really good times to look out for. Look out for it. Obviously, Gunston to Brandon Ryan, he could be one. But looking to the future then, you've got a few. Levi Ashcroft, obviously, he's going to take the billing. I don't need to tell you too much about him, but I do want to focus on this guy. So next year, you've got your future third, your future first, your future fourth, and Hawthorn's future fourth, which should be, you'd imagine, very early doors in the fourth. And Tom Gillette, coming from your Brisbane Academy, the ruck forward. This year, he really did stand out to me. He's got a really sweet kicking action, really good mobility around the ground, and really, really athletic. The 5 games, 14.4 touches, 7.8 hitouts, 4.2 marks, 0.5 goals a game. I feel like this kid here has got something, and I want you to look for him. I reckon he'll be in them early 20s at the moment, depends on how he goes. We know tall players usually rise towards the draft, but a real strong draft class for Brisbane next year. A lot of names for you guys and girls to look out for. Some other names that I wanted to throw out there, you know about Levi Ashcroft, but it's also would be a miss of me to mention Sam Marshall as well. He can play inside and out, balanced midfielder, real good ball skills as well, real nice little hand and kick action. So stay tuned for that. But Tom Gillette, look out for him because I feel like this might be a surprise missing jigsaw puzzle. Really keep a track on his development. Real good kid. Looking forward to seeing him come through the system next year. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Good luck next year at Seps against Carlton. Pom out.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad.